Morning to Professor Asawani and everyone. Our group present the topic about organization structure and design. So let us introduce ourselves first. My name is JING with meeting number 206806.
My name is NAJWA IZZATI, BINTI HAIRULEZAT, and my matrix number is 208187. Okay, I will present organizing as a managerial responsibility. So, there are 4 functions of management process, which are first, planning, second, organizing, third, controlling, fourth, leading. So, this is process of arranging people and resources to work toward a common goal. So, based on slides from 2 organizations in the picture, Lika Jing, can you differentiate which are the formal and informal structure?
Yes, A is formal structure while the B is informal structure.
Yes, correct. So, moving on to the next slide. In formal structure, all the decisions and processes are handled by the top management. The employees and managers are responsible for the successful implementation of decision, and the employees at lower chain of demand need to follow the higher top management in decision-making process. The power of decision is held at the top level and have a wide chain of or hierarchy of management. Next slide. I'll explain the pros first. Communication and chain of command is clear. Other than that, the cost can be reduced. Next, fast implementation of decision and work quality can be improved. What are the cons of formal structure? So, firstly, the dictatorship in terms of leadership. Other than that, work may delay due to the dependency of management. Employees also can feel disconnected and lack of authority in managers. Next slide. For informal structure network if unofficial relationship among an organization's member is the interlocking social structure that governs how people work together. It is the aggregate of behaviors, interactions, norms, and personal connection which works get done and relationships are built among people. It consists of dynamic set of personal relationship, social networks, and others. Next slide. Okay, what are the pros and cons of informal structure? The first pros is better communication. They can connect people to get things done and can learn new jobs and solve problems. Social and emotional support can be provided through friendship, conservation, and advice. Lastly, the productivity can be in positive way. Cons are susceptible to rumor. Other than that, carry in inaccurate information, disorganization, confusion, and misinterpreted communication, and changes are not easily accepted. Next, okay. There are 6 key elements of organization design and structure: chain line of command, span of control, centralization, specialization, formalization, and departmentalization. I will explain the 2 elements. First, chain line of command. The power and authority are delegated from top to bottom. Top management give instruction to the bottom team and all the employees. The accountability of an employee's job flows upwards to the management. Okay, on the slide, there are examples of wider chain of command and narrow chain of command, and we can see the difference. So, pros and cons of line of command. The pros is increase in the productivity, increase in quality and profits, clear communication due to the direct supervision, and conflicts can be resolved. The cons are not feasible for big organization, delay in decision making, less sense of belongings, and is official politics due to the power of centralization. Next slide. Span of control is the number of person directly reporting to a manager. The span of control can be wide or narrow depending on the levels of management and other aspects such as geographical location, ability of teams, complexity of tasks, and others. On the slide, we can see the example of wide span of control and narrow span of control.
So I will present the third element, which is centralization. Centralization refers to centralizing on organization system where planning and decision making is allocated to a single person or the top management. While in other hand, decentralization is the top management allowed middle or lower level to handle the planning and decision making. top management can stay informed about the performance result by using the network tools and information throughout an organization. So from these two pictures, we can say that the centralization organization is controlled by the managing director. Centralizing organization, all the department is carry out their planning and decision making. Next, we will move to a specialization, and the organization divides some of the function based on their specialized area. The tasks are divided into different tasks and distributed among the individual jobs role. So the specialization can be divided into high level and low level, which we can see from these two pictures. Next, formalization is the process of specifying or mentioning rules, procedures, duties to the employees as an individual as well to the teams, department, units, and the whole organization by managers. From these two pictures, we can see the formal organization and informal organization. So the last element is the departmentalization, where is the process grouping together people and job into work units so that the common tasks can be handled by specialized team. This departmentalization can be divided by two, which is rigid, where it's almost no interaction between different teams and the work, and each team works per time on the area of specialization. The second one is the loose departmentalization, where the teams interact with each other and work together for common tasks. So now I will stick to the common tasks of organization structure, where it contains functional structure, divisional structure, matrix structure, team structure, and network structure. Firstly, we see the functional structure, where is the structure that group together people with similar skill and perform similar tasks based on their specialties such as IT, finance, operation, marketing, human resource, and etc. Work well for organizations that produce few product or service and have stable environment where problems are predictable and limited demands for change. The communication is generally occur within each functional department and transmitted across department through the department's aid. This structure is concerned the functional serious problem, which is lack of communication, coordination, and problem solving. From this diagram, we can see that this is a functional structure for FedEx, which is the delivery service company with different functions and lead by the functionals. This structure has advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, this structure allows group employees with same skill and knowledge in the same function focus on their role. Second, it can encourage specialization, help team and department feel self-determined, and is easily scalable in any size of company. This structure also promotes skill development within function and good at solving technical problems by functional expert. In contrast, this structure also has disadvantages. For example, difficult to pinpoint responsibility for things such as cost containment, product or service quality, and innovation. This structure creates silos, which is low community within an organization, and the sense of working for the good of organization will get lost as only focus on meeting functional goals. Last but not least, this structure also is limit career broadening experience in others area. Next, we will move to a divisional structure, where it's grouped to get people working on the same product in the same geographic region. This structure is to overcome the disadvantage of functional structure. Divisional structure has three types, which are product structure, geographic structure, and customer structure. The product structure groups together people and working on a single product or service. It's ideal for organizations with multiple products and can help shorten product development cycles and allow small business go to market with new offering. The structure also allows the quick response and effectively to change market demands and customer taste. So from this slide, we can see that this picture shows the division structure with different divisions like health, beauty, food, and the finance. Next, we will move to the geographic structure. The geographic structure is the structure that brings together people and jobs performed in the same location. This structure is used when organizations want to focus on the unique product taste of particular region and allow flexibility in product offering and marketing strategy. For example, McDonald's in Malaysia provide one top product, where other McDonald's in other countries will provide the top products. Can be necessary due to the cost and availability of resources, distribution strategy, and law in foreign countries. For example, the Coca-Cola structures geographically because of the cost of transporting water. Next, but not least, the customer structure is the one that groups together people and jobs that serve the same customer and client. It gives a better service or product to the special needs of different customers groups. This structure is designed to avoid overlap, confusion, and redundancy. Example, we can see here there are two examples where is the customer structure for bank and hospital, where the bank serves different kind of customers such as ladies, school, which is for students, And for agriculture, estate, and corporate banking, hospitals customer structure where it's got different people, which is for people that in urgent, inpatient, outpatient service. Both advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, the expertise is focused on special product, customer, or region. Second, this structure helps companies to stay flexible and also allow for a quicker response to industry changes or customer need. This structure also promotes independency, autonomy, and a customer's price, which give a better coordination across function within the division. For the disadvantages, structure will easily lead to a duplication of resources across division. The next, this structure also lead to the insufficient communication between the headquarters and its division. Last but not least, this structure also will create an unhealthy rivalries where division competing with one another. Now I will pass to NAJWA.
Okay, thank you, Lee. I will explain about matrix structure. Okay, matrix structure combines functional and divisional approaches. The function of a matrix structure is to gain the advantages of each for emphasizing projects or program teams. This is accomplished by setting up permanent teams that can operate across functions to support specific products or programs. So as we can see, these are the example of matrix structure. There is research director and the top managers. The employees are brought together from different functional departments and they need to report to their bosses depending on the project. So next slide, advantages and disadvantages of a matrix structure. This structure can share information more readily across task boundaries. Other than that, this structure can increase in specialization that can increase depth of knowledge. The structure also encourages employers to use their skill in various capacities aside from their original roles. The organization can be viewed as a dynamic and the top management can spend more time on strategy. As contrast, the advantages of matrix structure, the structure can increase complexity in the chain of command. Confuse and conflicts can be rise between department and project managers. The cost also can increase for a new set of managers. Gridlock in decision making can be created if a manager on one end of the matrix disagree with another manager. Lastly, team meetings can be time-consuming. Next, team structure is a new type of organization structure, which are the organization structure is less hierarchical, less structured, and more fluid compared to traditional structure. So these are the process. The team are created by grouping employees with a complementary skills and synergetic efforts that can generate a variety of expertise and address a specific operational component of an organization to accomplish tasks. Then, the team that include members from different functions are also known as a cross-functional team. Okay, these are the example of team structure. We have a lot of expertise in specific tasks. Next, the advantages and disadvantages of team structure. So, first, the advantage is the communication, cooperation, and decision-making can be improved. More opportunities for innovation, increased productivity, performance, and transparency by breaking down silos. The team structure members are able to get to know each other better, can increase altruism and task involvement among members. Team structure also has disadvantages, such as they can lead to a more complex style of relationship in the organization. They also need to deal with conflict, royalties, and functional assignment. Teamwork may take time. And lastly, the lines of accountability may less clear. And the last structure, which is network structure. The word network, also we can think about IT, right? So network structure manages coordinate and control relations that are both internal and external to the firm by using IT to link with networks of outside supplies and service contractor. So in the simple term, they use network of strategical alliance and outsourcing to reduce the need of full-time staff and cause it have central cost model. So in the slide, we can see the example of network structure. Advantages such as the cost can be cut due to the full-time employees. The network structure also easy to grow or shrink with a market condition. They have better access to expertise through science partners and contractors. For the disadvantages, network structure can become overly complex when dealing with lots of outside processes. The entire system of network structure can break down when part of the network breaks down or fails to deliver, and too much reliance on outsourcing might have hidden costs. That's all from our group.